So I want you to imagine just for a moment that you're sitting down in front of a prospect and you're running through your prices for personal training. Would you want your client, your future client, because this is a prospect, would you want your future client to buy personal training from you, or that you have to sell personal training to them? Now, for many people, they'd say, well, what the heck's the difference, Justin? Well, this presentation is going to share with you what I believe is the difference between selling personal training and buying personal training. The analogy that I like to make, the story that I like to tell around this, would go something like this. When you tell that client how much your personal training is, if they're going to buy personal training, they're going to open up their wallet and they're going to say, here, take as much as you need. If you've got to sell personal training to them, you've got to reach down into their handbag, open up their handbag, pull out their wallet, open up their wallet, take out their money, close their wallet up, put it back in their handbag. A whole range of steps. I think when people buy personal training, they're emotionally connected to the product. When you sell personal training to them, they may not necessarily be emotionally connected to the product, which leads us to all sorts of implications for long-term stability of that client. So what are we going to cover today? Well, first of all, I want to talk to you about your belief. What's your belief around personal training? Then I'm going to talk about some options that are available with personal training. Okay, so let's kick off with, what do you believe? And I think it's really important to get this straight from the start. We have to believe, as personal trainers, that personal training is the number one option for our prospects to get results. We have to have a complete and thorough belief in what we are selling. For example, if I break a plate, or if I'm looking to repair a teacup or glue something together that's never going to come apart, I instantly think of super glue. Yes, it's branding. Yes, it's positioning. But I don't go for a cheaper version. I go for the thing that is going to really stick because I believe in the product. Now, recently when I was at a conference in New Zealand and in Australia, I asked a group of personal trainers at this conference, about 100 in the room in New Zealand and in Australia, and I said to them, okay, what's your belief around your personal training? Oh, no, yeah, no, really good. Yeah, no, I'm a great trainer. Awesome. Okay, well, what's your belief around personal training? Should everybody do it? Yeah, everybody should do it for sure. They're going to get results faster. It's going to be tailored around them. It's a better journey for them. You use the word journey, Justin, and it's going to be a better journey. Great, awesome. So can I see a show of hands? How many of you have a personal trainer? Now, in New Zealand, I think it was less than 5% of the people in the room currently had a personal trainer. In Australia, it may have been about 10%. So that's 10 out of 100 people who were professing how important personal training is to get results. Only 10% of that group actually had personal training. Now, to me, that also says, well, okay, what's the belief level of the product of personal training? And while they espouse, while they articulate how fantastic personal training is with their mouths, they don't actually do it with their bodies. Now, some of the trainers said, oh, yeah, but I'm so busy. Okay. Some of the trainers said, oh, yeah, but my business doesn't allow me to afford it at the moment. And some of them said, oh, I had personal training when I first started in the industry, but then, you know what, I kind of knew what I was doing, so I didn't need to worry about a trainer. Now, to me, those 3 reasons for not having a personal trainer are probably the 3 objections you're going to get when you sit down with a prospect. I don't have time, don't have the money, I know what I'm doing. So if you can get yourself and your mind comfortable with buying personal training and your belief system around that, that's going to have a massive impact on the success of your personal training business, whether it be a studio, outdoor, or even if you're PTing inside a club. If you believe in personal training, then it's going to be a lot easier to have people buy personal training from you because they're going to see it, they're going to feel it, they're going to get the message through the tone of your voice, through your body language, and through your energy around PT. So I guess the first thing that I want to challenge you is to get just your concept and your belief around PT 100%. So just for those that are unaware, get your shit together so that you 100% believe that personal training is the number one way to get results, is the number one partnership to get results, is the number one service to get results. Now you may well say, I agree with that, but I want you to walk the talk. I want you to get a trainer. I want you to show everybody that you believe in this so much so that you also have that person. And if those objections that I gave you earlier, don't have time, cost too much money, already I know what I'm doing, if you can't overcome them with yourself, then you're going to struggle to overcome them with clients. So that's the first option that I want to talk about in relation to building this foundation of getting people to buy rather than sell. The second thing that I'd like to consider is that the options that you have for personal training packages. I often hear in gyms that I work out in, someone sitting down as a PT with a prospect and running through their membership prices, and it kind of goes a conversation like this. So to get started with me today, John, I've got 2 packages. I've got a 30-minute session and I've got a 60-minute session. And the 30-minute sessions are $300 for 10, and the 60-minute sessions are $700 for 10. Which would you prefer? Well, I didn't really want to commit to 10 sessions up front because we've only just met. I'm only just kind of getting comfortable with you, and that's a lot of money to commit when I don't really know you. So do you have anything smaller than 10 sessions? No, I don't, I'm sorry. Oh. Well, I don't really feel comfortable. Okay, well, if you don't want 10, then, when you're ready, why don't you come back and see me and we can get you started on 10? Oh, okay then. Thanks. Now, sure, I may well have exaggerated that little conversation, that little role play, but I would hazard a guess that that conversation at some level happens across the globe in relation to personal training price presentations. So I've just spent half an hour or an hour doing a needs analysis, a complimentary PT session with the client. I've built reasonable rapport. He's starting or she's starting to like me. I throw up the prices, and then all of a sudden they say, well, I want some variation to that. And I go, no, I don't have any variations to that. And I've pretty much wasted all that time. It's gone. And so I really want to challenge everybody today to consider some personal training package options. And what I'm going to show you right now is completely going to challenge how you think about your business. I understand that. And the trainers that have been around for a long time will sit and listen to this and go, are you serious, Justin? What the hell do you know? And the new trainers will go, but that wasn't how I was taught. Yeah, this is different. This concept that I want to share with you is very different around options. And what I want you to do is to go away and think. I'm going to share with you the extreme option around these different membership, personal training packages, the extreme, and I want you to then peel it back to what is more realistic for you. So at one end, we've got a 10-pack of 30-minute or a 10-pack of 60 minutes, and that's it. And at the other end is going to be what I'm going to share with you now. And somewhere in between has got to be what feels comfortable for you. Because if we're spending money marketing or we're spending time trying to get clients, we've got to convert them by having a product for them. So have a look at this. Now this flowchart basically says I have 4 types of products. I've got a one-on-one session, I've got a two-on-one session, I've got small group, and I have large group. And then with all of those products can relate to how often I train. I could do it weekly, fortnightly, or monthly. Obviously with your group sessions, you can't really break that down to fortnightly or bi-weekly or even monthly. That's definitely weekly. But with the 1-to-1 and 2-to-1, potentially it could be weekly, fortnightly, or monthly. And then they could pay upfront or they could pay by direct debit. So if we just add that up, I'm kind of going to go weekly direct debit, weekly paid in full, fortnightly direct debit, fortnightly paid in full, monthly direct debit, monthly paid in full. There's 6 options there. 2-to-1, we could do exactly the same, so that takes us to 12. Small group weekly DD and paid in full, there's another 2 options, so we're now at 14. Large group weekly direct debit or paid in full, that takes us to 16. So right there we have 16 different options around personal training. What does that extrapolate to? That means that we have 16 different price points for somebody to come in and start personal training with me. So if they say that $50 for a 1-hour session is too expensive, I've now got different ways to get them started in our personal training. So they say, well, my budget's only kind of $15 a week. Great, I can get you in a large group session for $15 a week. Oh, okay, and I'm still working with you? Yep, you're still working with me. You're just sharing me amongst 10 other people. Oh, great. Or my budget's really only $35 a week. Oh, no problems. What I could do is I could then get you in our small group session. That's only $25 a week. You're sharing me with 3 other people who are also all trying to get the same results as you. And it's not even 35, it's only 25, so you'll save $10 a week. How does that sound? That's unreal, that's awesome. Great, I'm in. See, the conversation becomes quite different. So as I said, 16 options is the extreme. But at the moment, most personal trainers have got 1 or 2 options. And that's not enough price points in order to be able to convert to people. So we want to convert as many clients as possible by having our options. Now, please understand that I'm not saying when you sit down with a client, a potential client, you need to show them all 16 price points. I'm not saying that in the slightest. What I'm saying is when you have the conversation with the prospect about starting PT with you, you identify what is important to them. And you might say, well, we'll do one-on-one and we could do it weekly or we could do it fortnightly. Or I'll do one-on-one weekly and you can pay that direct debit or paid in full. And then when the objection comes up around cost or around time commitment or around travel or whatever it may be, you then can what we call drop close back to another option. At the moment, most personal trainers don't have those options to drop close, and that's why the conversation ends abruptly with the prospect with, oh, well, I can't help you because that's all I've got. And I know some of these are a pain. I know training a client on a fortnightly basis could be a pain. But surely there'd be another client in the gym or another client in the community who also only has a limited budget and only wants to train every fortnight. And so you've got one fortnight A and one fortnight B. There's plenty of ways to skin this cat, and that's the challenge that we want to create. We want to create different ways to get people started. So I want you to go away. You may even want to stop the video right now and write down all of your personal training options and all of what is possible. And remember, you still only price present 2, but those that you price present are the 2 that are most relevant to the customer.